Must avoid foods that weaken your bones. Hey everyone! First, let us know, have you ever felt that random ache in your back or joints and brushed it off as just getting older or just one of those things? Well, what if I told you that some everyday foods you consume could be silently weakening your bones? The scary part is that by the time you notice it, it may already be too late. Our bones are incredibly important, holding up our entire body and protecting our organs, yet we often don't give them the attention they deserve until something goes wrong, like a fracture or osteoporosis. What's even more alarming is that bone loss can occur without any obvious symptoms until it's already out of control. That's why it's so crucial to take care of your bones early on, especially through what you eat. Today, we're going to look into 8 everyday foods that are secretly wreaking havoc on your bones. These foods are common, and chances are you consume at least a few of them without even knowing the damage they can cause over time. Stick around, because, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to avoid, and even better, how to replace them with healthier options that keep your bones strong and healthy. Trust me, your future self will thank you for it. Let's start with the first food, and that is soft drinks. One of the sneakiest culprits behind bone weakening is something a lot of us enjoy daily: soft drinks, especially colas. These fizzy drinks are loaded with phosphoric acid, which plays a major role in disrupting the balance between calcium and phosphorus in your body. Calcium and phosphorus are both essential minerals for strong bones, but when you consume too much phosphorus, as you do with soda, your body gets confused. To correct the imbalance, it starts breaking down bone tissue to release calcium into your blood, leaving your bones weaker over time. This slow process doesn't cause pain right away, but over the years, it leads to fragile bones, making them more likely to break or develop osteoporosis, a condition where your bones become brittle. It gets even worse when you consider the amount of sugar in soft drinks. Not only does this lead to weight gain, which puts more pressure on your bones, but sugar also reduces the body's ability to absorb calcium. Calcium is critical for maintaining bone density, and without enough of it, you're setting the stage for conditions like osteopenia, early bone thinning, or osteoporosis. Historically, soft drinks weren't always such a problem. It wasn't until manufacturers began adding large amounts of sugar and phosphoric acid that they became harmful to our health. Studies even show that people who regularly consume sodas have a higher risk of bone fractures, especially women after menopause, whose bones are already more susceptible to weakening. So, what can you do? Ideally, cutting soft drinks from your diet entirely is the best thing you can do for your bones. If that sounds too extreme, try to limit yourself to just one small glass a week. Even better, swap out sodas for healthier alternatives like herbal teas or fruit-infused water. These not only help keep you hydrated but also provide beneficial nutrients for your bones. Next comes the salt, a staple in almost every kitchen that, while adding flavor to your meals, is silently damaging your bones. We all know that too much salt in our diets can lead to high blood pressure, but did you know that this can also impact your bones? Yes, that's right. High blood pressure can affect your bones too. Studies have shown that individuals with hypertension may have a higher risk of osteoporosis and bone fractures. This happens because high blood pressure can lead to calcium loss in the urine. Let's look into a bit more explanation. When you consume too much sodium, your body responds by excreting calcium through urine. It's like a chain reaction: the more salt you eat, the harder your kidneys work to filter it out, and in the process, precious calcium is lost. Over time, a chronic deficiency in calcium due to high salt consumption can result in weaker bones and increase the risk of conditions like osteoporosis. Osteoporosis is characterized by low bone mass and deterioration of bone tissue, where the bones become brittle and fragile due to calcium loss. Salt has been used as a preservative and flavor enhancer for centuries, but in today's world, it's everywhere, especially in processed foods. Foods like chips, canned soups, and frozen meals are often loaded with hidden sodium. And here's the tricky part: while the recommended daily intake is around 2,300 milligrams, most people unknowingly exceed that limit, putting their bone health at risk. Reducing salt intake might seem challenging, especially when you're used to the added flavor it provides. But the good news is, you can make gradual changes that still make your meals delicious. Start by cooking more meals at home, where you control how much salt goes in. Fresh herbs and spices like basil, oregano, and garlic are fantastic alternatives that bring flavor without compromising your bone health. So, how much is safe? Ideally, you should aim for no more than a teaspoon of salt a day. Fresh, whole foods naturally contain much less sodium than processed, packaged items, so focusing on these can drastically reduce your intake. The third food in our list of avoidance is alcohol. We all know that alcohol in excess is bad for your liver, but did you know it's also terrible for your bones? Alcohol disrupts the delicate balance of calcium in your body, making it harder for you to absorb this crucial mineral, which is essential for maintaining strong bones. It also impairs the absorption of vitamin D, another critical player in bone health. Without enough vitamin D, your body can't effectively use calcium, leading to weaker bones over time. But that's not all. Alcohol directly affects osteoblasts, the cells responsible for building new bones. When these cells are damaged, your bones lose their ability to repair and regenerate, increasing your risk of fractures. Alcohol has been a part of human culture for centuries, often associated with celebrations or relaxation. But chronic, heavy drinking has a darker side. It's linked to a higher risk of bone diseases like osteoporosis, particularly in older adults. What's interesting is that the damage doesn't show up right away. You might feel fine for years, but slowly, alcohol-induced bone loss creeps in, leaving you with bones that are fragile and prone to breaking. The good news? Moderate alcohol consumption, defined as 1 drink per day for women and 2 for men, has little effect on your bones. But once you cross that line into heavy drinking, the damage begins. Over time, excessive alcohol can weaken the bones to the point where even a small fall can result in a serious fracture. If you're looking for a healthier alternative, consider cutting back on alcohol or swapping it for delicious non-alcoholic options. Smoothies packed with leafy greens, fruits, and fortified plant-based milks are not only refreshing but also packed with bone-strengthening nutrients like calcium and vitamin D. The next food might be the favorite of many and is caffeine. A morning cup of coffee might be your daily ritual, but did you know that too much caffeine can weaken your bones? It's true! Caffeine interferes with calcium absorption in your gut. In simple terms, when you consume excessive caffeine, your body struggles to take in the calcium it needs from the foods you eat. And since calcium is the foundation of strong bones, this can lead to serious issues over time. Research has shown that individuals who drink more than 3 cups of coffee a day are at a higher risk of bone fractures, especially in older women whose bones are already more susceptible to weakening. Additionally, caffeine increases the excretion of calcium through urine. When you consume caffeine, your kidneys work harder to filter out excess substances, which can lead to increased calcium loss. This is particularly concerning because calcium is vital for bone remodeling, a continuous process where old bone is replaced with new bone. If your body is losing more calcium than it can absorb, it can lead to a net loss of calcium in the bones, resulting in reduced bone density over time. Caffeine has a long history. It has been consumed for centuries in various forms, from coffee to tea. However, its modern-day consumption has skyrocketed, with coffee shops on every corner and energy drinks flooding the market. This surge in caffeine consumption, combined with the high sugar content of many caffeinated beverages, poses a double threat to your bones. Not only are you potentially hindering calcium absorption, but you're also introducing excessive sugar, which can further impact bone health. So, how much caffeine is safe? Ideally, you want to keep your intake around 400 milligrams per day, which is roughly equivalent to 4 cups of coffee. But be cautious, many energy drinks and sodas also contain caffeine, making it easy to exceed this limit without even realizing it. To protect your bones while still enjoying your daily routine, consider replacing that 3rd or 4th cup of coffee with herbal teas or decaf options. These alternatives not only help you reduce caffeine intake but can also offer additional health benefits without compromising your bone health. Next comes the red meat. Your doctor must have refrained you from consuming it at least once in your life. Why? Let's explore. Red meat, when consumed in excess, can be another culprit in the weakening of your bones. The reason lies in its high content of sulfur-containing amino acids. While these amino acids are essential for various bodily functions, excessive consumption can lead to negative consequences for your bones. When you eat too much red meat, your body may start to excrete calcium through urine, similar to the effects of high sodium intake. Over time, this calcium loss can result in decreased bone density, making your bones more susceptible to fractures. Additionally, some research suggests that a diet too high in animal protein, including red meat, can increase the acidity of your body. To counteract this acidity, your body may pull calcium from your bones, further compromising bone health. This dual action, calcium excretion and the potential depletion of calcium reserves, creates a concerning scenario for maintaining strong bones. Not only this, but when you consume red meat, particularly organ meats and fatty cuts, you are taking in a significant amount of purines. Purines are natural compounds found in various foods, and when your body breaks them down, they convert into uric acid. Normally, uric acid is dissolved in the blood and excreted through urine. However, when you consume high purine foods like red meat in excess, your body may produce more uric acid than it can eliminate, leading to increased levels in the bloodstream. High uric acid levels can crystallize and deposit in the joints, causing inflammation and intense pain. This condition is known as gout. It most commonly affects the big toe but can occur in other joints as well. Symptoms of a gout attack include sudden swelling, redness, and severe pain in the affected joint. Over time, frequent gout attacks can lead to chronic arthritis and other joint issues. So, what's the solution? You don't have to give up red meat entirely, but moderation is key. Aim to limit your intake to just a few times a week, focusing on lean cuts that provide the necessary nutrients without the added fats. To further support your bone health, consider incorporating more plant-based proteins into your diet, such as beans, lentils, and tofu. The next food to avoid is sugary treats. We all love a sweet treat now and then, but excess sugar is one of the worst culprits when it comes to bone health. When you consume too much sugar, it can interfere with the absorption of essential minerals like calcium and magnesium, which are critical for maintaining strong bones. These minerals play a vital role in bone formation and density, so when their absorption is hindered, it can lead to weaker bones over time. Moreover, high sugar intake spikes insulin levels in the body. Elevated insulin can lead to inflammation, which further impacts bone health. Chronic inflammation has been associated with bone loss and conditions such as osteoporosis. Studies even suggest that diets high in sugar are linked to lower bone density, meaning that indulging in too many sugary treats can have serious long-term consequences for your skeletal health. The average person today consumes about 17 teaspoons of added sugar per day, well above the recommended limit of 6 teaspoons for women and 9 teaspoons for men. This sugar overload doesn't just harm your teeth and waistline, it can also compromise your bone integrity. Now, you might be wondering how to satisfy your sweet tooth without sacrificing your bone health. The good news is that there are plenty of healthier alternatives. Instead of reaching for a candy bar or soda, try opting for a piece of fruit. Fruits provide natural sweetness and are packed with vitamins, minerals, and fiber that support overall health and bone strength. If you crave something sweet after a meal, consider enjoying dark chocolate in moderation. It contains antioxidants that can promote bone health, making it a better option than traditional sugary snacks. Additionally, consider how the foods to avoid can impact not just your bones but also your mood. For example, sugary treats can lead to energy spikes and crashes, impacting your overall well-being and motivation to stay active. On the other hand, focusing on whole foods rich in nutrients can uplift your mood, increase energy levels, and even inspire you to engage in bone-strengthening activities like weight-bearing exercises. Another food to be mindful of for better bone health is high oxalate foods, like spinach, rhubarb, and beet greens. These greens are typically packed with nutrients and can be part of a healthy diet, but they also contain oxalates. These compounds can interfere with calcium absorption in your body. When you consume high oxalate foods, oxalates can bind to calcium in your digestive system, making it harder for your body to absorb this essential mineral. So, even if you're eating foods rich in calcium, those high oxalate levels can limit how much calcium your body gets. Over time, if calcium absorption is compromised, it can lead to lower calcium levels in your bones, which contributes to weakened bone density. This is particularly crucial for individuals at higher risk for bone-related issues, such as postmenopausal women or those with a family history of osteoporosis. Additionally, a diet that's excessively high in oxalate-rich foods, without enough calcium from other sources, can create an imbalance that further jeopardizes bone health. Some research even suggests that consistently consuming a high oxalate diet might increase the risk of developing kidney stones, which can bring on additional health concerns. The good news is that you don't have to eliminate these nutritious foods from your diet. Moderation is key. Try balancing your meals by adding calcium-rich options that are lower in oxalates, such as dairy products, fortified plant milks, or other leafy greens like kale and broccoli. Lastly, let's talk about processed foods, which can be a major problem for keeping our bones healthy. These convenient options are often packed with sodium, sugar, unhealthy fats, and preservatives that can weaken your bone structure. The high sodium content found in many processed foods is especially worrisome because it can lead to increased calcium loss through urine. And since calcium is crucial for bone density and overall skeletal health, this depletion is something we want to avoid. Plus, those additives and preservatives can make it harder for your body to absorb the essential nutrients it needs, which only makes the situation worse. In recent years, processed foods have become a big part of many people's diets. While they're super convenient for quick meals, the impact on our health can be quite negative. Think about all those frozen dinners, instant noodles, sugary snacks, and sodas. While they're easy to grab on the go, they can take a toll on your bone health. Research has shown that diets high in processed foods are linked to an increased risk of osteoporosis and bone fractures, especially in vulnerable groups like postmenopausal women, whose bone density is already at a higher risk due to hormonal changes. This highlights just how important it is to be mindful of what we eat. The good news is that there's a straightforward solution. The more whole, natural foods you can add to your diet, the better off your bones will be. Focus on loading up on a variety of fruits and vegetables, as they are full of vitamins and minerals that support bone health. Whole grains are also great since they provide essential fiber. And don't forget about lean proteins like chicken, fish, and legumes. These are important for overall health and help maintain muscle, which supports bone strength. If you do find yourself reaching for processed foods, make sure to read the labels carefully. Look for low sodium and low sugar options whenever you can. And there you have it. These 8 common foods: soft drinks, excess salt, alcohol, caffeine, red meat, sugary treats, high oxalate foods, and processed foods, are all quietly undermining your bone health. But the great news is that you now know to take proactive steps to protect your bones starting today. It's never too early, or too late, to begin nurturing your bone health, and small changes in your diet can make a significant difference over time. By being mindful of what you eat and making healthier choices, you can strengthen your bones and set yourself up for a healthier future. So, say goodbye to those bone-weakening foods and hello to a vibrant, bone-friendly diet filled with wholesome, nutrient-rich options. Thank you for watching. If you found this information helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tips on maintaining your health and wellness. Keep those bones strong.